Deep in the silent darkness of space, far away from any sun or moon, a massive alien station floated like a sleeping giant. This was a galactic high council, a place where the most powerful alien leaders discussed war, peace, and the destiny of entire galaxies. On this cold and quiet night, something unusual happened. A small red light began to blink on the council's main communication screen. Beep, beep, beep. At first, no one cared. Messages came every day. Warnings, trade requests, distress calls, it was normal. But then the red light changed to bright orange. Something that never happened unless the message was extremely old and extremely dangerous. The council guards looked at each other. One of them opened the signal. A strange, cracked voice filled the giant hall. This is an emergency broadcast. Do not attack the humans. The voice was shaking, full of fear, as if the speaker was running for his life. The message repeated again. Do not attack the humans. This is your only warning. Then silence. The hall became still. For a moment, not a single alien moved. The council leader, a tall, silver-skinned being named Vorlon, slowly stood up. What is this? He asked. Who sent this message? A small alien technician shook nervously. Yes, sir. The signal is 10,000 years old. 10,000 years? That meant it came from the age of the ancient empire, a civilization more powerful than almost any other species in history. They had ruled half the galaxy until they vanished, one day strong, next day gone. No one knew why. Vorlon narrowed his eyes. Play the full recording. The technician pressed a button. The hall darkened, and a hologram appeared. A damaged alien, half-burned and coughing, looked directly into the camera. His eyes were wide with terror. Hear me! Whoever finds this, you must never attack humans. He coughed blood. They look weak. They seem simple. But you do not understand. We did not understand. Static crackled across the hologram. We tried to destroy them, and in the end, we destroyed ourselves. The hologram ended. The council started whispering loudly. Some laughed, some looked scared, and some called it a joke. Vorlon raised his hand. Silence. The room became quiet again. He spoke firmly. Humans? The small species from the blue planet? The ones who only recently discovered interstellar travel? How could they destroy an empire? No one had an answer. Another elder counselor stepped forward, an old historian named Eshron. He walked with a cane and spoke slowly. I know this warning, he said. I read about it in ancient ruins. The empire that attacked Earth sent this message just before they disappeared. But the official records were destroyed long ago. Vorlon frowned. Why destroyed? Eshron hesitated. Because the empire believed that humans were cursed. A wave of nervous laughter passed through the room. Cursed? Humans, someone mocked. They can barely fly a shuttle. But Eshron didn't laugh. His old eyes stayed serious. They tried to reduce the human homeworld to ashes. They tried to break their spirit. They believed humans were weak. But something happened, something they never expected. Vorlon sat back. We need answers. Where did the message come from? A guard replied, From the ruins of the ancient empire's central world, sir. Vorlon nodded slowly. Then we will go there, personally. A silence fell again. No council leader had visited those ruins in thousands of years. Most believed the place was cursed, haunted by the ghosts of a fallen empire. But Vorlon was not afraid. We must know the truth, he said. If humans are a threat, we need to prepare. And if this warning is real, then we need to understand why. He looked at the screen again, where the message still blinked. Do not attack the humans. The message felt heavier now, like a shadow covering the room. Hours later, the council ship left the station. It was one of the most advanced vessels ever built. Huge, armored, and carrying the best scientists, soldiers, and historians. As the ship traveled through the dark void, many aboard felt uneasy. Some whispered that the ruins were cursed. Some believed the message was a trap. Some believed it was nonsense. But one thing was certain. No one understood how a species like humans could destroy the greatest empire in history. After 2 days, the ship reached a dead region of space, where the ancient empire once lived. There were no lights, No movement, no signals, just ruins, broken planets, destroyed moons, burned cities floating in the dark, metal skeletons of giant starships. The crew stared in horror. This was not normal destruction. This was complete erasure. The Empire didn't fall slowly. It died instantly. Vorlon whispered, "What happened here?" Then the ship's scanner beeped. Beep, beep, beep. A small message appeared on the screen. Human signature detected. Everyone froze. Humans? Here? In the ruins of the Empire they supposedly destroyed? Vorlon felt a cold chill run through him. Something was very wrong. And whatever truth they were about to discover, it would change the galaxy forever. The investigation ship moved slowly through the silent graveyard of stars. Every screen, every sensor, every member of the crew watched the ruins with tense eyes. The deeper they went, the darker the region became, as if light itself refused to stay here. Vorlon, the council leader, stood at the front window. His face was calm, but his hands were tight behind his back. Behind him, the historian Eshron whispered, "This place once held 1 billion lives. Now, only dust remained." The navigator guided the ship between the broken rings, a shattered planet. Enormous chunks of rock floated like giant knives around them. Some pieces still carried the remains of buildings, towers cut in half, bridges snapped like glass, and metal frames twisted by unimaginable force. "How can a whole empire fall like this?" a young guard asked. No one answered. Suddenly, the scanner beeped again. Beep, beep, beep. "Leader Vorlon," the technician said, "we found a doorway, a working doorway." Working? Vorlon turned sharply. "After 10,000 years?" "Yes, sir. It is weak, but still active." The ship followed the signal until they reached a massive metal ring floating in space. It looked like an ancient gateway, cracked and broken, but still pulsing with a faint red glow, like a dying heartbeat. As they got closer, symbols appeared on the metal surface. Symbols they recognized. Human symbols. Fresh, glowing, impossible. Eshron leaned closer to the hologram projector. "These marks, they are not from the ancient empire. They are made by humans." A wave of confusion spread through the room. How? When? Why would humans come here? Vorlon raised his hand. "Prepare the landing team. We're going inside." The landing ship touched down on the surface of the Empire's former capital, now nothing more than a cracked stone giant. Dust covered everything, and a thin fog of ash floated in the air. The ground beneath them was burned coal-black. Buildings leaned at strange angles, as if something had struck them sideways with incredible force. The team stepped out, their boots echoing in the empty silence. No wind, no sound, only the crunch of debris beneath their feet. Eshron activated a small drone. It floated forward, shining light on the ruins. "Look," one soldier said, pointing at a tall tower that had collapsed sideways. Across its broken wall were lines of text burned deep into the metal. The team moved closer. Eshron read slowly. "This writing, it belongs to the last emperor of the ancient empire." Vorlon nodded. "Play the audio translation." The device scanned the text and produced a voice. "We captured the humans, but we failed to understand them. They learned faster than any species we have known. Every tool we gave them, they improved it. Every weakness we tried to hide, they found it." The team froze, listening carefully. They do not stop. They do not break. They do not fear death. They only become stronger. The message ended. A soldier swallowed hard. "Are they talking about the same humans we know?" "They must be," Eshron said quietly. As they turned to leave, one soldier gasped. "Sir, look at this." At the far end of the vault wall was a small, bright mark. Unlike everything else, it was new, clean, as if placed only years ago. A human symbol. A handprint. Eshron examined it closely. "This is human technology. Very recent." Vorlon's voice lowered. "Then humans have been here. They know this place. Maybe they know everything." A cold fear settled over the team. If humans had visited this place, it meant they already knew the history. They already knew the Empire fell because of them, and they didn't warn anyone. Vorlon stared at the glowing handprint. "What are the humans hiding?" he whispered. Outside, the ship scanners picked up another signal. A pulse. A location deeper in the ruins. A final chamber still locked. The truth was waiting there, and it was worse than they imagined. As they traveled deeper into the ruined city, they found a large underground entrance, a massive vault door. Surprisingly, it was open, as if someone forced it from the inside. Vorlon stepped forward, weapons ready. Lights on. The team moved inside. The vault was enormous. Rows of data crystals lined the walls. Some were shattered, but many remained intact. In the center of the room stood a huge hologram stone. The technician powered it up. A ghostly blue figure appeared, a scientist of the ancient empire, tired and frightened. "My name is Kaelmon," the hologram began. "I record this to warn the next generation, if any survive." The team listened silently. "We believe humans were simple creatures. Their world was beautiful, but weak. Their armies were nothing. Their weapons primitive. We attacked confidently, expecting quick victory." Kaelmon's face grew dark. "But humans are not like other species. They do not understand limits. When pushed, they evolve. When hurt, they unify. When threatened, they become something impossible." The hologram flickered. "They learned our language in weeks. They understood our ships in months. They began creating things we did not understand, weapons we could not control." He looked directly at them. "We tried to destroy them before they grew stronger, but it was too late. In trying to break them, we sharpened them. In trying to rule them, we taught them how to rule us." Static. "We attacked humans and sealed our own fate." The hologram died. The vault fell silent. The hidden chamber door stood silent, half buried under fallen metal beams and cracked stone. A strange energy pulsed behind it, like a heartbeat echoing through the dead ruins. The team stared at it, unsure whether to open it or run from it. Vorlon stepped closer. "Cut the door," he ordered. The engineers began working. Sparks flew as tools sliced through the ancient alloy. The metal was unbelievably strong, far stronger than anything the Empire had ever used. It felt like the room itself did not want to be opened. Eshron watched quietly, his old eyes worried. "This is no normal room," he muttered. "Whatever they hid here, the Empire never wanted it found." The final piece of metal fell with a heavy crash. A cold blue light spilled out. Inside the chamber, the air felt different, thicker, almost alive. The walls were covered with strange writing, symbols glowing faintly in soft blue, unlike the rough ancient Empire marks. These were cleaner, sharper, more human. The soldiers raised their weapons. Vorlon took a cautious step in. The chamber was circular, with a tall pedestal in the center. On top of the pedestal floated a crystal, small, glowing softly, turning slowly in the air as if waiting for someone. One soldier whispered, "What is that?" Eshron approached the pedestal slowly. "This is impossible." Vorlon frowned. "Explain." "This is not alien technology," Eshron said. "This is human-made." The room fell silent. A human device inside the heart of the Empire's lost capital, locked away for thousands of years. "How can this be?" Vorlon demanded. Eshron shook his head. Humans didn't have space travel back then. They couldn't even leave their planet. So how did this crystal end up here? The glowing crystal suddenly pulsed brighter. The lights dimmed. The air trembled. A hologram appeared above the pedestal. But it was not an alien. It was a human man, wearing simple but advanced armor, appeared in the blue light. His eyes were sharp, calm, and full of confidence. He looked nothing like a weak species. He looked like someone who had faced the impossible and survived. The team froze. The hologram spoke. "If you are seeing this, then you have found the truth the ancient empire tried to erase." His voice was steady, controlled. "My name does not matter. My people do not seek war. But when the empire attacked us, they left us no choice." Vorlon's eyes narrowed. This is a human survivor. But the hologram continued, ignoring them. "You believe humans were weak. You believed we would break. But humans do not break. Pain only changes us. Loss only sharpens us. When you burned our homes, we learned to fight. When you stole our people, we learned your technology. When you tried to erase us, you showed us what we needed to become. Eshron whispered. He's speaking directly to the Empire before it fell. The hologram turned slightly, as if looking at the ruins around them. Your Empire believed it could crush us. But every attack made us stronger. Every strike taught us something new. You created your own end. The hologram paused, eyes dark. Humans do not rise despite destruction. We rise because of it. Then the room shook lightly as the hologram shifted, showing images behind him. Images of humans in chains. Humans repairing alien machines. Humans studying alien computers. Humans secretly building weapons from stolen parts. Vorlon stared in disbelief. They were learning everything. The hologram spoke again. We understood your ships. We understood your armies. And we understood your fear. A new image flickered. Dozens of human-built ships rising into space. Small, but fast, and unlike anything the Empire had. The Empire had no defense. They underestimated you, Eshron said softly. Completely. The hologram nodded, as if responding to his thoughts. You believe we could be controlled. But humans grow under pressure like fire inside metal. When you pushed us, we evolved. Another image appeared, explosions across the Empire cities. But with precision, not random destruction. Strategic strikes. Human strikes. A small group of humans battling entire alien armies and winning. The hologram continued. We never wanted to destroy your empire, but when you forced us into a corner, we became something your leaders could not predict. The hologram face grew serious. And if you're watching this now, then another species has come here. Maybe curious. Maybe foolish. His voice sharpened. Listen to our warning. It is not a threat. It is a truth. The hologram leaned forward, his gaze piercing. Do not attack humans. The room felt colder suddenly. Not because we are monsters, the hologram said, but because we become whatever we must to survive. Then the hologram flickered once more. We rise from loss. We rise from pain. If you try to reduce us to ashes, you will only witness us rise in glory. The crystal dimmed. The hologram vanished. The chamber fell into deep silence. No one spoke. No one moved. The weight of the truth pressed on them like gravity. Vorlon finally broke the silence. His voice was low. This is why the Empire fell. Eshron nodded slowly. They created their own destroyers. Humans learned too fast, grew too fast, became too strong, too adaptable. A soldier whispered softly, "If humans could do this when they were weak, what can they do now?" Vorlon turned toward the exit. We must return to the council. The galaxy must know this. But before they could leave, the ship above sent an urgent message through the comms, voices shaking with fear. "Leader Vorlon, you need to come back immediately." Static. There is a ship behind the ruins. More static. A human ship. Everyone froze. The chamber lights dimmed again, as if reacting to the presence outside. Vorlon stared at the ceiling, his heart pounding. Humans were here, and they had heard everything. The chamber lights flickered again as the message repeated through the comms, this time clearer and more urgent. "Leader Vorlon, please return. A human ship is here." It appeared out of nowhere. The message ended with heavy static, like something powerful was interfering with the signal. The entire team stared at each other in shock. A human ship, here, in the most forbidden, dead part of space? Vorlon's voice was firm, but tightly controlled. "Everyone move. We return to the ship now." They left the secret chamber quickly, climbing over broken stones and twisted metal. The glowing human handprint on the wall flickered once more, like a silent warning. Outside, the ruined city felt different. Colder. Still, almost as if something unseen was watching them. The soldiers walked faster. When they finally reached the landing craft, the pilot was pacing nervously. "Sir, you need to see this." He pointed to the sky. At first, the team saw only darkness. Then, slowly, a shape emerged between the drifting remains of ancient starships. A single, massive silhouette, its surface smooth black and shining like polished obsidian. Its engine silent, with no visible heat or light. It didn't fly like a ship. It glided quietly like a shadow. Vorlon whispered, "Is that human technology?" Eshron answered softly, "If it is, then humans have advanced far beyond anything the ancient empire ever imagined." The ship above them tilted slightly, as if acknowledging their presence. Not threatening, not attacking, observing, studying. "Get us back to the council ship," Vorlon ordered. The landing craft launched into the sky, heading toward their mothership. All the while, the human vessel remained still, watching silently. As they approached the council ship, they saw chaos inside through the windows. Officers rushing, red lights flashing, soldiers shouting orders. The moment they docked, Vorlon ran to the command deck. The commander saluted shakily. "Leader, the human ship is not sending any signals." "Hostile action?" Vorlon asked. "No, sir, none. No shields raised, no weapons charged, but what?" Vorlon demanded. The commander swallowed hard. "Our scanners cannot see inside it. We cannot detect engines, power signatures, or crew. It is like the ship is not really here." Eshron stepped forward. "Humans must have created technology that hides their true power." Vorlon stared at the giant screen. The human ship floated in the ruins like a ghost, silent, patient, unbothered by the alien fleet watching it. "Try communicating," Vorlon said. The officer nodded. "Opening channel." A long silence followed. Then a voice answered. Calm, smooth, human. "This is Captain Elias of the Human Exploration Division. Identify yourselves." The bridge froze. Eshron whispered, "So humans have exploration fleets now." Vorlon stepped forward and spoke with authority. "This is Vorlon of the Galactic High Council. We did not come for conflict." The human captain replied, "We know." Vorlon blinked. "You know? We detected your search operations before you entered the system," the human said. "We allowed you to proceed." "Allowed?" The word hit everyone on the bridge like a blow. Vorlon took a steady breath. "We found the ancient warnings, the messages your kind left behind. We uncovered the truth." The human captain did not sound surprised. "You learned why the ancient empire fell. Good. That knowledge may save you." Eshron stepped closer. "Captain, are you aware the entire empire was destroyed by your ancestors?" There was a moment of silence. Then the human spoke lightly, almost gently. "Yes, we know." Vorlon felt a chill. "Why didn't your people share this history with the rest of the galaxy?" The answer was calm. "Because we wanted to avoid fear, avoid conflict. Many species attack what they don't understand." Eshron nodded slowly. "Like the Empire attacked you." "Exactly." The human ship drifted closer, its dark hull reflecting faint blue lights from the ruined planet. Vorlon asked, "Are humans planning to challenge the galaxy?" "No," the captain said. "Humans do not seek war. We only respond." The voice grew slightly colder. "But when attacked, we adapt. We evolve. And we survive." Vorlon felt a deep, ancient fear echo in his chest. The captain continued. "Your team witnessed the messages, the logs, and the truth. You saw what happens when humans are pushed too far." Vorlon nodded. "We understand the warning now." "Completely." "Good," the captain said. "Then hear this clearly." The lights on the human ship brightened slightly, illuminating its enormous size. "Humans are no longer the weak species the ancient empire once saw. We have grown. We have expanded. But we do not forget history." The voice hardened. "If any council, kingdom, empire, or species repeats the mistake, if anyone tries to attack Earth or harm our people, the galaxy will face consequences again." The screen flashed once. The human ship activated something. Not a weapon, not a shield, something else. A ripple spread across space, bending light. A cloaking field, a warp field, whatever it was beyond alien understanding. The ship began to fade. Vorlon shouted, "Wait!" Will humans make contact again? The captain answered quietly, only if we must. Within seconds, the ship vanished into the dark. No sound, no trail, not even energy waves. Gone like it was never there. The bridge remained silent for a long moment. Finally, Eshron spoke in a trembling voice. Vorlon, now you see. Humans didn't rise to glory because the Empire destroyed them. They rose because they were forced to evolve. Vorlon exhaled slowly. And now they watched the galaxy, waiting. He looked back at the empty darkness outside, and hoping no one makes the ancient mistake again. The next morning, the sky above the base looked unusually calm, almost too calm. Captain Rian stepped outside the command building and watched the horizon. The clouds were still, like they were holding their breath before something big. He felt a strange pressure in the air, a quiet warning that today would not be normal. Inside the control room, every screen glowed with reports of strange alien movement. Patrol ships of the Krasan Empire were gathering near the outer edge of the solar system. The blue dots on the radar map were forming a circle, as if they were preparing to trap the Earth. Mira entered the room, holding a small hologram disc. Her face showed worry. Rian, this is bad. The aliens are not just moving. They are waiting. Waiting for what? Captain Rian asked. For a signal, she replied. At that same moment, the hologram disc activated by itself, glowing bright blue. A message appeared again. The same message the humans had seen in the beginning. Do not attack the humans. Again, the voice continued. They try to reduce your empire to ashes, only to witness it rise in glory. But this time, something new appeared. A line of symbols. Mira scanned them quickly and gasped. This isn't just a warning, she whispered. It's coordinates. Coordinates to what? Rian asked. Mira hesitated. To a hidden human facility. A place that was lost centuries ago. Everyone stared at her. You mean part of the old empire? Chief Leon asked. Mira nodded slowly. Yes, a place built long before any of us were born. Before anyone could react, the alarm suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. A soldier ran into the room. Captain, a massive energy wave is forming near orbit. The Krasan fleet is activating something. Rian rushed to the main screen. The alien ships were glowing with a strange green light. It looked like they were charging a weapon never seen before. Mira looked worried. They're not attacking Earth. They're trying to block the coordinates. They don't want humans to find that old place. So the message came from the old empire? Rian asked. Maybe, Mira said, or from someone who wants us to reach it. Rian took a deep breath. Prepare the stealth ship. We leave in 10 minutes. The journey through space was silent. Too silent. The stealth ship moved carefully between dark asteroid fields and dead satellites. Mira kept reading the signals from the coordinates. Each time, they became clearer, almost calling them forward. Someone really wants us to come, she said quietly. Rian watched the void outside. Or someone wants to test us. After an hour, the ship came across a strange fog-like field. Green and blue particles floated around like dust. It looked harmless, but felt dangerous. We have to pass through, Mira said. They entered slowly. The ship shook. Alarms beeped. The air felt heavy, as if something was pressing on their minds. Rian gripped the controls tightly. Stay focused. Do not stop. After a few intense minutes, the shaking stopped. The fog cleared. And then they saw it. A massive structure floated in the darkness. It looked like a city made of metal and stone, with rings around it and broken towers reaching in all directions. Blue lights flickered from inside the ancient walls. Mira stared in shock. This is human? We built this. No wonder the aliens fear us, Rian said quietly. As the ship approached, a platform opened, like the structure had been waiting for them. They landed. Inside, the place was cold and silent. Dust covered the metallic floors. The walls glowed faintly. Symbols of the old empire were everywhere. Then they found a large central chamber. In the middle stood a tall, crystal-like pillar. It emitted a soft, warm light. Mira scanned it. This crystal holds memory data, maybe records of the old empire. She touched it gently. The room filled with blue holograms, images of humans defending their empire long ago. Humans with advanced ships. Humans defeating alien fleets. Humans standing strong even when surrounded. Rian watched in awe. So the old empire was powerful. Mira pointed. Look. A final hologram appeared. A message. To the future humans, they will try to destroy your world. They will try to erase your history. But you will rise again. Do not fear the alien threat. You are stronger than they know. The hologram faded. Then something else happened. A door opened behind them. A large chamber lit up. Inside were weapons, advanced human weapons, glowing and ready, untouched for centuries. Rian stepped forward. Weapons from the Golden Age. Mira smiled slowly. Now we understand why the aliens sent warnings. They feared this place. They feared what humans could become again. Suddenly, the crystal pillars started glowing brighter and brighter. A calm voice spoke. Human empire rebooted. Systems awakening. The entire structure began to vibrate, as if coming to life after sleeping for hundreds of years. Rian looked at Mira. The aliens think they can destroy us. Mira nodded. But now we rise. The structure's lights turned gold, and far away in space, the Krasan Empire detected a new energy surge from the very place they feared the most, the human empire. The entire ancient station shook as its systems rebooted. Golden light spread through every hall, every broken tower, every forgotten chamber. Captain Rian felt the floor vibrate under his boots, like the heart of a giant waking after a long sleep. Mira watched the glowing walls with wide eyes. She knew this was not just a building. It was a weapon, a fortress, maybe even something far greater. Far outside, deep in space, the Krasan Empire ships detected the awakening. Their scanners flashed with warnings. The alien commanders shouted orders. Their fleet began to tighten formation, a massive ring of ships pointing toward the human solar system. Inside the ancient station, the voice continued. Human empire systems restarting. Defense protocol rising. Battle mode activating. Rian stepped closer to the crystal pillar. This station, it's preparing for war. Mira touched the surface of the pillar again. The crystal responded instantly, showing new holograms. Maps, star routes, hidden human bases spread across the galaxy. Lost, abandoned, forgotten. There were more stations, Mira said softly. More like this one. We didn't even know. Maybe the aliens destroyed them, Rian said. Or maybe, she replied, they feared humans so much they tried to erase all our history. Before they could speak more, the ground shook again, this time harder. The lights flickered. A loud alarm echoed through the entire structure. Rian's hand went to his weapon. What was that? Mira checked her scanner. Her face turned pale. They found us. The Krasan fleet is here. Outside the station, massive alien ships appeared from the shadows, their green lights flashing. They surrounded the ancient station like hungry predators around an old but powerful beast. One alien captain spoke through an audio channel, his voice cold. Human survivors, leave the station immediately. Your ancient empire must not awaken. Rian stood still, listening. His jaw tightened. Mira whispered, they don't want us to learn the truth. Rian replied, they're too late. The station responded on its own. A deep metallic voice boomed from every speaker. Warning! Foreign forces detected. Activating defense shields. A golden barrier erupted around the entire structure, pushing back several alien ships. Some lost control and spun away. Others fired energy beams, but the shield held strong. Mira stared in disbelief. This technology, humans use command power like this? Rian pointed toward the newly opened weapon chamber. We need to arm ourselves. Inside the chamber, the ancient weapons glowed with strong blue energy. Sleek armor stood ready, untouched for centuries. Rian grabbed one of the arm plates. It felt warm, like it recognized him. When he placed it on, the armor sealed perfectly. fitting him as if made for him. Mira equipped a smaller but powerful set of armor. "These were designed for human commanders," she said. Rian nodded. "Now we know why the aliens feared our species." A loud boom shook the chamber. Another alien attack hit the shield. "We don't have time," Rian said. "We must activate whatever this station is preparing." They rushed back to the central room. The crystal pillar was now pulsing rapidly. The voice spoke again. "Human leaders detected. Authorization required for full awakening." Mira looked at Rian. "It wants us to give permission." Rian placed his hand on the pillar. Mira did the same. The station reacted instantly. Authorization accepted. The golden lights turned blinding bright. A new hologram emerged, an old human commander from the past. His armor looked ancient but powerful. His eyes were sharp. He spoke calmly. "If you're seeing this, then the aliens have broken their pact. They fear what humans can become. They fear our strength, our unity, our rise." The hologram expanded, revealing star systems, old wars, alien betrayals. "We built weapons not to rule the galaxy, but to protect our people. The Krasan Empire attacked us out of fear. They destroyed our colonies, thinking they could erase us." The hologram paused. They were wrong. Suddenly, the entire station lit up with golden arcs of power. Massive cannons extended from the towers. Rings around the station began to spin faster and faster. Energy collected at the core. Mira shielded her eyes. "It's preparing a superweapon." Rian stared at the enormous power building around them. "It's going to defend Earth." Outside, the alien fleet opened full fire. Green beams exploded against the golden shield. The aliens shouted orders. "Try to break through before the human station could finish charging." But it was too late. The ancient human station finally activated. A giant beam of golden energy shot out, cutting across space like a roaring sun. It hit the alien fleet directly. Ships exploded. Some disappeared instantly. Others drifted lifeless, their systems dead. The few alien ships that survived fled in panic, sending emergency messages back to their empire. The humans, they have awakened the old power. Inside the station, the voice spoke once more. Human empire reactivated. Defense network restoring. Rian and Mira watched the last alien ship vanish into the darkness. Mira breathed out slowly. "We just changed everything." Rian nodded. "This is only the beginning." The golden station hummed around them, alive and powerful. Humans were no longer weak, no longer hunted. The galaxy had feared their return. Now the prophecy was true. They tried to reduce the human empire to ashes, only to witness. The golden hum of the ancient station spread across the empty space like a quiet warning. Everything felt different now. The silent halls that once looked dead were filled with energy, light, and purpose. Captain Rian stood near the large window of the command chamber, staring at the distant stars. The galaxy seemed calmer for the moment, but he knew it would not last. Mira walked up beside him. Her armor still glowed faintly from the activation. She looked tired, but her eyes were sharp. "They will return," she said softly. Rian nodded. "Yes, and next time they will not come alone." Across the galaxy, alien empires were already hearing the news. The humans had awakened an ancient power. Old stories were being whispered again. Stories the aliens tried to bury. Stories about humans who once stood against impossible odds and still won. Mira turned to the crystal pillar, which was now showing more holograms, maps, files, old human commanders, forgotten star colonies, abandoned fleets. "This station was only one piece," she said. "There are more scattered across the galaxy." Rian looked at the hologram of a distant star system marked with glowing blue symbols. These locations, they could hold ships, or weapons, or even more living stations like this one. Before Mira could answer, the floor shook slightly. A soft pulse ran through the walls. Rian raised his weapon, but the station's voice spoke. "Incoming transmission detected. Origin unknown. Encryption. Human Empire code." Mira frowned. "Human code? From thousands of years ago." The hologram shifted. A small blue cube appeared, spinning slowly. It opened like a flower, projecting a message. A human face appeared, a man with silver hair and golden armor. His voice was deep and calm. If you are receiving this, then the first station has awakened. Good, but the war is not over. The Krasan Empire was never our only enemy. Rian froze. There were more. The hologram continued. During the fall of our empire, we discovered something far darker, a species that lives in the void between galaxies. The Krasan feared them too. They hid the truth to protect themselves. Mira stepped closer. Void species? What does that mean? The message began to distort, as if interference was cutting through it. If they return, humanity must unite. Activate the second beacon. Find the lost fleet. Only then... The hologram shattered into fragments and vanished. A heavy silence filled the room. Rian exhaled slowly. So the Krasan weren't trying to destroy us. They were trying to stop something worse. Mira shook her head. We don't know. But they lied. They all lied. The station suddenly dimmed, then glowed brighter. New threat approaching. Unidentified signal entering star system. Rian and Mira exchanged looks. This was not the Krasan. Their signals were sharp and green. This one was different, like a low-frequency rumble, almost emotional, like the void itself was speaking. A huge ripple moved across space outside the window. A dark shape appeared, stretching like a shadow across the stars. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't even solid. Myra's voice trembled. What is that? Rian's blood ran cold. The creature, or whatever it was, moved without engines, drifting like smoke. White lines glowed across its body like bones under skin. Its eyes were empty white circles, colder than space itself. Station shields rising, the system announced. Unknown life form scanning us. The creature stopped. Its entire form turned toward the station. Then a deep voice, not spoken, but fell inside their minds, whispered, "Human light has awakened again." Mira staggered back. "It can speak?" Rian grabbed her arm to steady her. "Not speaking. It's touching our minds." The creature moved closer, but not aggressively. More like it was curious. It circled the station slowly, studying it. The station's defense systems charged automatically. Warning, hostile potential detected. The creature paused. It raised its long, shadowed limbs and touched the outer shield. The golden barrier vibrated, struggling to hold. "Rian," Mira whispered, "if it breaks through..." "I know." The shadow creature pressed harder. The barrier cracked with sound like glass breaking. Rian hit the emergency controls. "Prepare counterattack." Golden cannons rotated and locked onto the creature. Energy built up quickly. But before firing, the creature's voice echoed again. "You awaken old fire, yet you do not understand the darkness coming." Mira shouted, "Then tell us. Help us." The creature's glowing eyes dimmed, as if in sadness. "Your enemies feared you. Your allies betrayed you. But the ones who destroyed your empire were not them." Rian stepped forward. "Then who destroyed us?" The creature slowly floated backward into the shadow of space. "They are returning, and you are not ready." The creature vanished, dissolving into streaks of darkness. Silence returned. The station voice spoke immediately. "Emergency priority. Locate the second beacon. Prepare for incoming cosmic threat." Rian stared into space. Fists clenched. Mira whispered, "This is bigger than the Krasan, bigger than the old wars." Rian nodded. "The galaxy fears what humans can become. But now, something far worse is coming." The golden lights of the station reflected in his eyes. "And we will face it." The golden station floated quietly, but inside, everyone felt the tension growing thicker. Captain Rian stood in the command chamber, his eyes fixed on the hologram, showing the dark region where the shadow creature had vanished. Even though it was gone, the cold feeling it left behind still stayed in the air. Mira walked back to her console. Her hand was shaking slightly, but she tried to hide it. She opened the last recorded signal from the creature. It said, "Something is returning," she whispered. "Something that destroyed our ancient empire." Rian nodded slowly. Then we must find the second beacon. And fast. The station's voice activated again. Coordinates for the second beacon located. Danger level, extreme. A map appeared in the air. It pointed toward a region humans never entered before, a dead zone known as the Silent Rift. No ships traveled there. No signals escaped it. It was a graveyard of lost crafts and drifting ruins. Mira stared at it. No wonder no one ever found the old beacons. Rian touched the glowing map. Prepare the station for warp. We leave immediately. But before the station could activate its engines, an alarm echoed. Multiple ships approaching. Identified. Krazen Empire. Rian clenched his jaw. Of course they returned. Dozens of alien ships appeared outside, forming a blockade around the ancient station. Their weapons glowed green. Their engines pulsed like beating hearts. The Krazen commander broadcast his message across space. The alien leader appeared as a tall creature with silver skin and bright, emerald eyes. Humans, you have awakened something dangerous. Shut down your station. Hand over control. Mira stepped forward. You lied to us. You tried to erase our history. Why? The alien commander paused before speaking again. We feared your empire. We feared your weapons. But more than that, we feared what follows your awakening. Rian narrowed his eyes. You mean the shadow creature? The alien looked down, ashamed. It is called a Voidborn. It destroyed entire civilizations, including yours. Rian felt the truth hit him like a shockwave. So it wasn't you or any alien empire. It was them. The Krazen commander nodded slowly. We attacked you only after you weakened yourselves fighting the Voidborn. We thought if humans never found their old power again, the Voidborn would never return. Myra's voice trembled. You thought wrong. Suddenly, the golden station shook violently. A dark pulse hit the shield. Then another. Then dozens. The shadow was back. Only this time it wasn't alone. Outside the window, cracks of darkness tore open in space. From each crack, more Voidborn emerged, shapes of living shadows, eyes glowing white, bodies bending like smoke in a storm. The Krazen fleet opened fire immediately, green beams slashing across the void. But the blast passed straight to the Voidborn, as if hitting ghosts. The aliens panicked. Rian shouted, "Activate the station's main weapons." The golden cannons charged again, lightning-like energy building between them. The entire structure glowed brighter and brighter. The station fired. Huge arcs of golden energy cut across the Voidborn swarm. This time, the creatures reacted. Their bodies flared with white sparks. Some evaporated, but more kept coming. The station voice warned. Shields failing. Hostile numbers increasing. Mira looked at Rian with fear in her eyes. If we stay here, we die. If we run, the galaxy dies. Rian stepped toward the pillar and placed his hand on it. We activate the second beacon. It's our only chance. Mira nodded. The ancient empire built these for a reason. Maybe the beacons together can stop the Voidborn. The station responded instantly. Warp capacity restored. Plotting route to Silent Rift. Outside, the Krazen fleet fought desperately, sacrificing ships to delay the Voidborn. The alien commander appeared again. Humans, the galaxy needs you. Go. Find the beacon. Rian paused, shocked by the sudden respect in his voice. We will return, he promised. The alien bowed his head slightly. For the first time, we hope so. The golden station ignited with power. The rings around it spun faster. Lights shone like a rising star. The Voidborn rushed toward it, screaming without sound, trying to stop the escape. Rian shouted, "Warp now!" The station exploded into a stream of golden light and vanished just seconds before the Voidborn swarm closed in. Space twisted around them. Time bent. Colors blurred. The warp tunnel glowed with strange symbols, almost like the station itself was guiding them. Mira held on to her console. The Silent Rift is close. Rian watched the tunnel turn darker, deeper, heavier. Then everything stopped. The station reappeared in a dead, silent region of space. No stars. No planets. Only shadows. But ahead of them floated something enormous, a second station, larger than the first, darker, but glowing faintly with blue ancient symbols. Mira gasped, the second beacon. Rian stared, feeling the weight of destiny in his chest. This is how we save the galaxy. As they approached, the ancient structure awakened, its blue lights turning bright. A deep voice echoed across the void. Second beacon activating. Human empire, return to your throne. The darkness trembled. The Voidborn were coming. And humanity was finally ready.